So here we are, it's day actual 1 of the 100s. We did our prep yesterday, and so today we're going to do really kind of our first 100s, but let's do a little warm up first. I never like to just completely jump into something without doing some movement. So let's just lean back into our hands and we'll rock our knees from side to side. Just get into our hips and pelvis. So yesterday we looked at the percussive breathing. We looked at the arm beats or arm strokes. And we looked at the 100's curl. So let's take a little bit of time, just review that really quickly. Move our bodies just a little bit more here. And so the percussive breathing was where we want to move the breathing diaphragm and we want to expand into those low ribs. And we want to feel or just imagine that they're expanding wider, wider, wider. And as we exhale, they get smaller, smaller, smaller. And so a nice way to exercise this is to start with 2 pulses, go to 3, go to 4, go to 5, even go to 6. So we just want to make it to 5 today. We're not pushing too hard. So let's start out with 2, and it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. So let's just follow along with me. You might want to put your hands here. And just before we do the percussive breathing, let's close our eyes for a moment and just allow the breath to expand into your hands, into your side ribs. Just notice the movement. And by bringing your awareness to this area, we can really move the breath into that area. This is a really good thing to practice throughout the day. Let's do it one more time. Good, and then we're going to exhale and start with a 2 pulse. So we're going to inhale for 2. Go to 3. Go to 4. Now 5. We want to feel it in our ribs. It's not really about the sound, it's about the movement. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Good. Relax your spine. Open up the chest. And before we lay on our back to get ready for our 100s, let's just do some body circles here. Again, softening into your hips and pelvis. Softening your head and neck. Let's just do a little quick side bend, opening up the whole right side, opening up the whole left side. Do that one more time, reaching up, opening up those side ribs into the pelvis. And we'll circle forward this time. And rolling up. Other side, last one. Letting the head have some movement here. Reach out as we circle around. Rolling up. And we'll open up the chest. Okay, so we're going to be paying attention a little more to the bottom half of our torso. We looked a lot at the head curl, the upper body curl. So let's just notice that little pelvic movement here. You can tip to your pubic bone or tip back to your tailbone. Tip towards the front of the pelvis, tip towards the back. And we're rocking on those sit bones. So we're going to take that into our lying down position and see if we can articulate that a little bit as part of our warm up for the 100s today. Just going to get my hair out of the way. You can rock your head from side to side a few times. Good. And then we'll find the center for our head. Let's have our hands on our belly. We're going to breathe into our belly and expand. Then as you exhale, let your belly sink in. And we're going to start to curl the tailbone towards the pubic bone. That's going to cause our pelvis to roll towards the waist, towards the top of the pelvis. As you inhale, let the belly expand and the tailbone is going to drop. As we exhale, the belly sinks down and start to curl your tailbone up, and you're going to feel that you flatten out your lumbar spine. We're not really using our legs here, we're just moving a little movement in the pelvis. So let's again inhale. As the belly button goes up, the lumbar spine goes up a little bit. We kind of have a little exaggerated arch, just slightly. As you exhale, tuck your tummy in, and we're rocking on the sacrum towards the top of the sacrum, but our pelvis is still heavy and our hamstrings are relaxed. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, allow the tailbone to drop, kind of like a drawbridge, dropping down. Sit bones are going to widen. And as you exhale, the belly sinks down. As the drawbridge goes up and you curl. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands beside you. This time, let's lift the pelvis off the floor. So we're still curling, curling, curling. Keep your belly sinking down. The tail is curling up. So you really want to make sure that the belly is going towards the spine, that you're not pushing the belly up. Stay here for a moment and let's really open up the front of the hips. Exaggerate that curl of the tail. Curl. And now what's happening with your head? Sometimes as we do this, we get a little tension here. So just lengthening the neck. One more breath. And slowly come back down. Let's rock our knees from side to side. You can let your head go opposite to your knees. And now, as we get ready for our 100s here, let's also lengthen and stretch out our neck. So I'm going to support the back of my head. I'm going to lift my head up off the floor, tuck a chin, and just move my nose from one side to the other side. So right now my shoulder blades are kind of flat to the ground. If I'm actually doing my 100s curl, I'm going to lengthen my spine and curl up just a little higher. But let's come back down and relax our arms. So remembering the arm beats go with the percussive breathing. So let's just practice that before we get into it. I'm going to go right into a 3 pulse, and I might switch it to a 4, but let's just do a 3 to start. Inhale. And exhale. In. So that can take a little bit of practice. I've noticed over time, after teaching this for so many years, a lot of people end up going like this. They tend to want to lift the arms up on the inhale. So it helps if you just get that action of the arms going, going, going. It's like a metronome, and then we add the breath. Remember, I'm hugging my thumb. So when I pinch my thumb in towards the index finger, that brings in the pec muscle. As I hug in that baby finger towards the ring finger, that brings in the lat. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to hug my thumb, wake up my pec muscle. I'm going to hug the baby finger in, wake up the lat, lengthen the spine. I'm going to use that to help me come up into my 100s curl. So it's not passive with the arms. All right, let's just do a little set here. We're going to go to 4. Last one. I lied. And come back down. I don't know what happened there. I got a little bit carried away. Let's rock the head from side to side. Relax your knees. So before we do it one more time, let's just add a little stretch here. I'm going to stretch out my hamstring. So just bringing the leg up, flex and point that foot a few times. Maybe make some circles with the foot and the ankle, and then guide that leg towards you. So we'd like to, again, keep the tailbone dropped. If I curl my tailbone, that gives my hamstrings a little bit of a break. So I really want to anchor at this end, anchor at the sit bone, bottom of the pelvis, and reach those 2 points away from each other. Sit bone down, push out through my heel, lengthen the spine. And just to add a little bit to the lateral hamstring, I want to bring it across my body just for a few breaths. From there, I'm going to bend my knee, bring the ankle to the knee, and just give myself a little glute stretch here. Flex both feet, flatten the ribs, reach out through my head. And let's release. We're going to do that on the other side. Let's stretch the other leg out, flex and point that foot a few times. Maybe make some circles. One direction, circles the other direction. Whatever feels good. And then guiding that leg towards us. Tailbone heavy. So whenever we want to stretch something, we want to figure out where's the anchor and where's the opposing point and move them away from each other. That way you get a nice complete stretch. If you want to bring even more into it, add the spine. Tailbone is anchored. Reach out through the top of your head. I'm going to guide that leg towards me. And then reaching across, getting a little diagonal here, getting to that outer leg. That part's always pretty tight on me. I don't know about you. Let's bring the ankle to the knee. Get our glute stretch on this side. Pushing my sit bones away. So it's easy for me if I just kind of let the tail curl. But I'm going to move my knees away, my legs away. Keep the tailbone there. Reach out through my sit bones. Flatten out the spine as I bring my knee towards the shoulder. Okay. That feels much better. Okay. So now let's give this a try. We're going to do the 5 pulse and we're going to do it 5 times. Okay. So we've already done it quite a few times, but this is going to be our last little go at it. Okay. So let's set up the arms. Find a center for your head. Take a breath in. And then use that thumb pressing in. Use that baby finger. Come up into your curl. I always like to add that little extra lengthening there. Now be careful that we're not clenching our glute muscles here. We actually want the tailbone flat and the pelvis level. All right, let's inhale. This is 4, 4, 5. I'm just going to do an extra breath and then lower. Let's rest our palms on our belly. Again, rock your head from side to side. Take a moment and come into some relaxed breathing now. We're letting the belly soften. Good. So you can stay there and rest, or you might choose to do some other stretches. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm just going to do this every single day. Today's basically number 1. We're calling today day 1, so we have 99 to go. Thanks so much for joining me. If you made it this far, good job, and I'll see you tomorrow.